I am talking about the Word of God, and the subject right now is insults. In the Bible, the word fool is a grievous insult. It was used to denote somebody who is morally deficient. Today we consider it a fairly innocuous word, but really people should take more offense by it. In fact, Jesus said in Matthew 5:22, "But I say to you that everyone who is angry with his brother will be liable to judgment. Whoever insults his brother will be liable to the council, and whoever says, 'You fool,' will be liable to the hell of fire." So being called a fool was a big deal, and I consider it an indication of how the world has become a darker place to live, because being called a fool is a trifling insult nowadays. But in those days, angrily calling someone a fool was an offense worthy of hellfire. Here's another quote from the Old Testament, Proverbs 11:9. "With his mouth the godless destroys his neighbor, but through knowledge the righteous escape." So the point I'm trying to relay is that the godless man destroys his neighbor with his mouth. When people imagine quote-unquote bad people, they are imagining people who start fights and thieves and drug addicts. But these two verses show how people are usually ruining each other with their big fat mouths. This is fair because when you think about it, not very many people feel the opportunity to be violent or to be a thief. But plenty of people have the opportunity to cause damage with their mouths. This brings responsibility to people who think they are innocent because they aren't lawbreakers, but in reality they stir up all kinds of trouble with their words. So Jesus was talking about what seemed like a specific kind of insult, but really the principle is that any kind of vicious insult is something that will condemn you. And if you want evidence that many people are wicked, consider how many trolls are on the internet. People who have never met you before jump at the chance to ruin somebody else's day. That's just people who happen to be obvious. For every person you can tell that is wicked, there are many more who are not so immediately obvious. John 3:19. This is the verdict. Light has come into the world, but men love darkness instead of light because their deeds were evil. It suggests that people use darkness to conceal their wicked ways. And obviously it's not literal darkness. People who do things that are wrong generally cover them up. When you slander someone behind their back, you do it where they can't hear you. When you are a shoplifter, you do it when no one's around and can see you. Furthermore, there is the darkness of the soul. This suggests that people prefer it when other people are sinning because it makes their own sin stand out less. In other words, they prefer darkness. So the essential message is this: you are in just as much need of redemption for your words as you would be if you were a thief or a drug dealer or whatever. You aren't a good person just because you never did more than talk. Thanks for listening. Go with God.